Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. As you can tell by the title, today we're going to be talking about why you should consider taking a break from social media. There could be multiple reasons as to why you would want to take a break. It could be that you're kind of lost in life. You don't know exactly where to go, what to do in the present moment. Another reason can maybe be the more obvious one, which is just your mental health. And you're not very happy because you're always on social media and seeing how other people are living their lives, and you feel like you're not doing enough with yours. So there's about like 5 points that I want to cover. So starting with point number one, when you're on social media, you might find that you're constantly comparing yourself, whether you do it consciously or subconsciously. So sometimes we see a post, we see a story, and maybe it makes us feel in a certain way because they posted something where they did something that maybe you can't do. They posted something looking a way that maybe you can't look. And, even if it's taking a moment to actually comparing yourself to them, or whether it's just kind of subconscious and you kind of just quickly think to yourself, like, man, I wish I could do that. I wish I can look like that. I wish I could be this person or whatever it is. So that's point number one. So point number two, social media skews your perception of real life. Kind of a broad topic, but one way I can put it, guys, is we're all aware of what an algorithm is, hopefully. The more you interact with a post, the more you're going to see certain topics related to that post, or you're going to see more of those type of posts. So it really makes you think that there is so much of something, when in reality that's all because you've interacted with one post, and now the algorithm is going to be feeding your social media with more of those things, when in reality there isn't actually much of it. Now, if that sounded a bit confusing, just going to use this as an example. If you are on your Instagram feed and you constantly interact with, let's say, a young social media influencer, let's say he's a 19-year-old and he talks about making 100K a month, okay? Just an example. The next time you refresh your feed, you're going to see more posts similar to that one. Then what's going to happen is eventually, when you keep interacting with those posts, you're going to see more and more of 19-year-olds making 100K a month. Whether it's real or not, that is what the algorithm is going to feed you. So what happens to you when you see that is you start to think, if you're 19 years old, or maybe even if you're like 23, 24, you start to think, oh my God, there's all of these 19-year-olds making 100K a month, and I'm here making, 20K a year. So it really skews your perception of real life, because the person beside you and the person beside him or her and the person beside them is not making 100K a month. You so rarely run into people in everyday life that are in that position, but social media has you thinking that it's a norm to be making 100K a month because that's all you see on your feed. All right, so let's get to point number three. Once you kind of step back from social media, you realize how much time you actually have in a day. And this can be, it doesn't have to be social media specifically, it could be anything that you're doing that's not the most productive thing. I think everybody has something, whether they're watching movies, whether it's Netflix, whether it's video gaming, scrolling on social media. When you take a break from such things, you start to realize how much time you actually have in the day. And then after that, it's just making decisions, making good decisions, whether it's trying to become more physically active, whether it's learning a new skill, whether it's making food, cooking. It could be anything. But when you kind of step back from something that you're spending way too much time on, that's not very productive, you start to realize that there's actually so much time in the day and you can be so much more productive. The fourth point, I'm going to keep it short and sweet. Constantly being on social media and interacting with the next post every millisecond shortens your attention span. Interacting with a post for 5 seconds and automatically going to another post and watching that for another 5 seconds and scrolling or swiping through, it's going to be very hard for you to pay attention to something longer than 5 to 10 seconds. I believe as humans, we only have an attention span of about 30 seconds, which is the maximum before our mind kind of drifts off into another thought. So, social media, because it's so fast paced with feeding you content, and that you can just swipe to the next thing and the next post and interact with that before getting distracted by the next post. Think about it for a second. It's obviously going to lower your attention span. And everything that you interact with in real life, you want it to happen rapidly and you want it to happen quickly. If it's not grabbing your attention, you're just going to try going to the next thing. So, on to point number 5. And this one, I'm going to go into a bit more depth. When you follow people on social media, you have to realize, when I'm talking specifically for people that aren't sure what to do with their lives, if they're kind of stuck in a position where they don't know what the next step is and what they're really interested in or what their purpose is and what they want to pursue, being on social media throws you all around the place. It throws you in so many different positions mentally. Being on social media can make you think that you want something because you see somebody else having it. So if you're constantly following people and you don't know what to do with your life, every time you see somebody doing something that kind of piques your interest, you're going to think that that is exactly what you want to do and that's what you want to pursue. But in fact, you might just lose interest in the next week or in the next couple of days. So it's very important when you're in a position where you don't know what to do next and we don't know exactly what to pursue. You cannot pursue what other people are pursuing and what other people want to pursue. And that's what social media does very well at tricking people into making them think that this is what you want. But that is not what you want. That is what others have that you think that you want, because you don't know yourself well enough to know what you're actually interested in and what you actually want to do and what you actually want to pursue in your life. So taking a break from social media in a moment where you don't know where to go and what to do next in life is very important, because then you can connect with yourself. You can figure out what you want to do and what you're interested in, not what others' interests are, and trying to make them your own. So take a step back, do some digging, do some inner thinking, figure out what actually makes you happy, what type of work you can do that'll consistently make you feel fulfilled. And just like that, you're going to be in a much better position to actually be more productive with your time and your day. So there you have it, guys. Just 5 points on why you should consider taking a break from social media. As always, please comment, like, subscribe, and I should say, as always, I hope you're feeling blessed. I hope you're feeling grateful, thankful, and you've woken up this morning feeling healthy. And I will see you guys in the next video.